have to scam people to make a fortune out of real estate. A lot of developers are not scammers. Everybody cannot be a scammer now. On a serious note, can everybody come to this industry to scam? When you know that you cannot deliver 500 houses and you allow clients to subscribe for 500 houses, but by the time you have a provision for 50 units and you are collecting money from subscribers up to the tune of 500 units, that is not being a victim of circumstance. That's you deliberately putting yourself into a mess. Lagos is no longer for affordable investments. Go to neighboring states. Because by the time you buy the affordable land and they tell you come and pay this for your approval, come and pay this for your, can you afford it? If you cannot afford it, go elsewhere where you can afford and invest where you can afford there and go to sleep. But Lagos is not cheap and Lagos is not for everybody. If I have to go back, I would do developing in Nigeria. Honestly.
Why?
I have to tell you that I've seen a lot of sheges. Look at those days when I used to build affordable houses. I lost money in all those projects. Lagos state system is no longer encouraging affordable land. For people like us that started affordable housing, that had to stop because we have to struggle, think of how to bring light into the community, bring water, and those things do not come cheap. And by the time you sell affordable house to people and you calculate infrastructure realistically, when you tell them the cost of the realistic infrastructure, they will abuse the hell out of you. Our government, I don't know, or it's the system or it's the country, at times you do the right thing and I don't know, they still come for you. So confusing at this point. I really don't know what to say. You know, when they just show one demolition, you start seeing comments from people that cannot even afford to buy a plot of land in the cheapest area in Lagos. They will now come and start dropping comments and say, hey, don't buy in Lagos, so hey, I cannot buy in Lagos. They cannot afford it. If you can afford to invest in Lagos today, you are one of the 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Today, we are sitting down with a woman whose name sparks conversations whenever real estate is mentioned. She is bold, daring, and unafraid to take risks that many wouldn't dream of. She's no stranger to the spotlight, and she is no stranger to challenges. From transforming raw lands into thriving communities, to facing the harsh realities of the Nigerian real estate market, her journey has been nothing short of intense. She is here today. She's ready to share it all. The wins, the setbacks, the lessons, and the vision that has kept her going. So whether you're an investor seeking clarity or someone curious to know the real stories behind the billboards, this conversation will definitely keep you at the edge of your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Key to Key shows. And with me is Dr. Ololade Abuta. Good to have you here again.
Thank you for having me here.
We had a great time the last time. People were reaching out and saying, we need to have her alone on your show because it seems she has a lot of things to share. And I'm glad you're here because I know you're ready to share every information regarding the Nigerian real estate market.
Well,
so, okay.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I'm here to share some information because we definitely cannot share everything in a day. Except you want us to be here for the next 72 hours.
I know, right? I know. Okay, so let's talk about your journey in the real estate sector. What was the vision for the Gracias brand?
Okay, so I started real estate as a developer in 2015.
Okay.
I didn't register Gracias then, but I was always investing in, I was an investor.
Okay.
So when I see all these joint ventures, somebody has a land, they don't have the resources to develop it. On the other hand, I knew some developers, some engineers. They weren't developers per se, but they were engineers. So I bring them on board, we construct, I fund the project. And we did quite a number of such projects between 2015 and 2016. But, they are usually very small.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 units, 6 units, 2 units, small. Mm-hmm. So we did quite a couple of that. But it was not so profitable for me because I was an investor. The engineer has to protect his own interests. So at the end of the day, after we share the entire thing, I'm always like, what kind of investment is this one, And you know how people can be. A lot of times after we do usually have an agreement before we get on the project. But when the project is ready, at times the landowners can say, oh, we want this kind of finishing. This particular finishing we don't want. We have to destroy some things, redo So it was not profitable. It was very, very challenging. And I've always been an investor or a speculator, We buy, what speculators, what we do as a speculator in Nigeria, in the Nigeria real estate sector. Speculators are people that maybe buy portions of land, wait for a couple of years and sell. So I've always been doing that. I think since 2010 or before 2010. Any money I see, I'll go as far as Agbara, Mowe, Ikorodu, Abeokuta, I'm always buying. So prior to my investing in JVs and all that, I was doing real estate agents as a side hustle.
Okay.
So I've always thought of having my own encouraging. One thing I had at the back of my mind was majorly to encourage affordable investments. Because those days, if I invest my little 1 million, 2 million, I know the joy that comes with it. So I was like, I know how people will feel if they can invest their little and you don't have it grow into something. So we started Gracias in 2016. There's something about me, I know they passed my boundary. I know my limits. I know what I can do. So I knew I wasn't an engineer. And I knew I cannot just jump on building. So we started Gracias selling lands and all that, while I still continued with the JV, the small sponsor 2 units, 4 units. I was using that to learn. So I was like, at this point, even if it's not profitable for me, let me keep doing it so I can keep learning, so I can grow in the system, So we started Gracias, and the aim was to encourage affordable investment. But it is tiring, especially because of the kind of system we find ourselves. I want to say that I feel that the Lagos State system is no longer encouraging affordable investments. So it is time for us to face reality and let people understand that if you really want affordable, that you will use. It's a different thing to buy an affordable property. It's a different thing to utilize it.
Yeah.
If you really want an affordable property that you would use at peace, please go to neighboring states for now. Lagos State is not encouraging it, because look at those days when I used to build affordable houses. I lost money in all those projects. I delivered them, but I lost money. It wasn't profitable. Until now, it is not the dream I had, because, when you sell affordable houses to people and you expect the government to do necessary things, because when it comes to affordable, whether we like it or not, let's tell ourselves the truth, it's always far from town, and you're expecting the government to put some basic facilities, basic things that you can tap from.
Yeah.
And it's not forthcoming, and you're expected to bring such to an area which doesn't even come cheap.
Sure.
So that was why I stopped building affordable houses. I had to stop because I knew that it wasn't working. And I paid attention to building luxury for people I know. Because one thing I also understand about the market is that people need houses. So by the time you even put it in the market that you want to build luxury houses for sale, people will pay you. But can you deliver? And I do not want to put myself in a mess. So I just felt, if it's 2 or 3 I can build for my clients that can afford it, let me do 1 at a time, 2 at, that has been going smoothly. But the mass building for affordable is not working. It's not working. It's not working because the government has not done the basic things that would help us do it easily. And for me, I just felt there's no point complicating issues for myself. So I know my capacity. I can forecast what will happen. So let's just take it 1 step at a time.
Well done. So let's talk about real estate today. What do you think is the real issue that buyers are not understanding? Or should I say maybe the buyers are not understanding, or there is actually an issue?
There are many issues. And one of the issues we have is the government not putting us on check. Because the truth is, everybody cannot be scammers. Everybody cannot be a scammer. Every developer cannot come on board with the intention to be a scammer. But at the end of the day, we developers, we relent on some things we should do because we feel there's nobody that will hold us to ransom.
Okay.
A lot of developers often bite more than what they know they cannot chew. They bite what they know that this thing I'm about to bite, I cannot chew it. I can't swallow it in a jiffy. But because there is no regulations or there's no regulatory system that will put us on check and maybe sanction somebody or discipline one of us, we tend to just do things and feel, yes, we'll do it.
We have La Sfera, we have Redden.
Yes, the Lazara is working on something. By the time they are done, I'm sure it will be hard. It will be a hard pill for us to swallow, but it will put us on track and it will help this industry. That is number one. Number two is that our clients, they don't like to face reality. A lot of clients, they prefer the deceptive parts of, they want you to tell them what they want to hear, not tell them what is realistic. But one thing I always tell people is that we have a lot of successful story in the real estate industry.
That's true.
But oftentimes they don't make it into the news. At times I'm always like, hey, I wish this my big clients can even come and tell testimonies. But you know those ones, high profile clients, private clients, you can't even post their testimony on behalf of them. You know, so real estate investment in Nigeria is still lucrative. Is not a bad thing to invest in, but we still need that checkmate. That checkmate will straighten up a lot of things for us. Because when a developer knows that if I do this, I'll be held responsible and I'm most likely to lose this, the developer will sit up. Because oftentimes I see a lot of developers bite beyond what they can chew, deliberately. When you have subscribers and you have people subscribing for 500 units of houses, and you know you cannot even build 100 units in a jiffy, like you can't even deliver 100. Why do you have to sell to 500 people?
True.
One of the reasons why I pulled back from housing was I realized that people want to buy houses.
Yeah.
Those days, you know how many clients we always have to refund and say, okay, we've sold. You know, those days I'll just sell a little and say, sales on hold.
That's true.
You guys will be like, Madam Gracias, now sales. I say sales on hold because we have, this is the limit I think we can do for now. But a lot of developers do not do that. You know? So when you know that you cannot deliver 500 houses and you allow clients subscribe for 500 houses, and at the end of the day, you are there, you are snagging, fine. We know that at times you can choose to embark on 10 units and get challenges, but those are challenges, not deliberately bringing stress upon yourself. So if a developer knows that if I do this, it's a big deal. Advanced countries, you can't just jump on this business and say you're a realtor or a developer.
True.
It is happening in Nigeria till today. Although we were able to build an industry out of it, one thing I can say about the government of Nigeria is that they allow privileges, they allow opportunities, which a lot of countries do not allow. Because if it was that strict, people like us wouldn't even jump on it. Yeah. Do you understand? Now we are on it. If they can help us, I think if we are ready to work with them or they are ready to work with us, I've been trying to see how we can work together and make the industry a better one. Because until there's a regulation that holds developers liable for silly, deliberate mistakes, not you being a victim of circumstance, until that is happening in Nigeria, then we are not ready to start.
So I'm going to touch something here. So it's not like we're trying to gatekeep, because this same industry gave room for the success of your company and so many other companies. Now, because I was going to say that we get to a point where even as a realtor, you don't just wake up and say you're a realtor. If it means taking some exams,
exactly,
getting to understand it where you are at,
exactly,
that would be necessary. But if I'm saying that, you know, it's going to look more like we're trying to gatekeep.
Okay, we have to see. I always say something. There's something called chain reaction. One thing leads to another. In every country today, I'll use the UK for an instance here. At some point, when you go to the UK in 2 years, you can be a legal, even if you go through the visiting visa or a student visa and you get stuck. In 2 years, if you get married, you get, later it became 5 years, one thing will lead to another. Things can change. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. In every advanced country that we have today, that the countries are now saying the visa is now strict before you get your visa. At a point, their visas were very easy to get.
That's
They were
true.
looking for people to come on board. But now they have enough people and they think they should gatekeep. Do you understand? The truth is, when we all started, a lot of us started together and were able to build an industry. We all started with good intentions. But now the market is saturated. This is an industry that cannot even die because either we like it or not. Shelter is one thing that till thy kingdom come, people want to buy shelter. This industry cannot even afford to die. It won't even die. But my point now is, how can we help investors safeguard their investments? If we are put on check, we will help investors safeguard their investments. Now, there are some challenges we face that we did not plan to face. That is different from the ones that you will see and use your hand to drag this problem upon yourself because you know that nobody will hold you to ransom or nobody will call you to check. So right now it might not be gatekeeping, like you said. It might be trainings. It might be, but trainings or not, as Nigerians, until discipline is in there, it's like you just telling us do this. Nigerians, I don't know, we are just wired that way. Until you say if you don't do this, this comes up. That is when we take things seriously.
That's true.
You know, so the governments are trying to do something. But I just hope at the end of the day, whatever they bring out works for us. If that can happen, it will reduce the fear of the investors to an extent. And also, investors should also put themselves on check and try to avoid buying things that are too good to be true.
Yeah.
You know, but the industry is a rosy one. Like I said, the only issue we have is that it's just the bad news that makes it to the headline.
Yeah.
Most times we have more good news than bad news. Most time we have more profitable investments than the ones that are going down the drain. But because, you know, Nigerians they will applaud you when you do the right thing in a very minimal way. But when you do the wrong thing, they will exclamate in a very broad and, you know, a very big way. So...
Yeah, so I'm going to touch something. Yeah, and I also want to buttress the fact that, look, yes, there are a lot of people doing the wrong things, but there are a lot more people doing the right things.
Yes.
A whole lot more people doing the right things.
Actually doing the right thing.
Lots of people are getting to own homes. A lot of people they have testimonials of, you know, becoming homeowners and getting value for their money. So yes, I'm not saying ignore, but tread carefully. I'm not saying don't invest, but I think this is a call to action. This is a call to do your background
check. I'm still thinking on how we can even go about bringing out testimonies. Because this same thing you mentioned, I had a meeting with my colleagues and we were like, we are not even applauded enough for the good ones we do. You know, I don't know. I think maybe you should help us create a segment where we can encourage some investors to come and just say their testimonies, because more people are actually getting value for their investments.
Yes.
But the very few people that are not able to get value for their investments, we want them to get value for their investments. A lot of developers are doing the right thing, but the very few that are not doing the right thing, we want them to be sanctioned. We want them to be disciplined so they can do the right thing. So at the end of the day, we are not giving the media what they want. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because if we have eight positive stories, two negative stories,
and the
two is making it to the news.
Yeah.
Let's see how we can bring the remaining two to the positive place. That way,
Exactly.
we don't have reasons to be worried, and we don't have reasons to just sleep and wake up and see one particular news that will give you heartbreak.
Now, I'm going to touch the part where you spoke about, you know, the challenges. Because I understand one thing, that this whole issue in real estate is more or less like, right now, it's a boomerang. It didn't just start today. It's been a roller coaster or several events. Let's go back to 2016, 2017, the Bejulei boom. A lot of people, a lot of developers went into that sector basically because they knew they could make money, not because they had any plan. They knew that things could go wrong in that area. And they went ahead.
In 2016,
2017.
Nobody knew anything would go wrong in that sector then.
So because there is something currently ongoing, right? And a lot of a particular company, people bought properties, and right now the properties are not existing. And some are due to the fact that
all the properties or
most of the properties. And right now, what we're getting to hear is they just paid down payments. They did not complete. If your intention was to ensure that clients got their homes, you as a developer will complete your payment if you don't plan to take the money and abscond.
Now, that brings me back to what I have been saying in the last 2-3 years. It is because we are not being checkmates, because they don't put us on check enough. Because I don't know the developer you're talking about, but if that developer knows that whatever I'm doing is going to put me into bigger troubles, the developer will not try it. I always tell people, real estate is rewarding. You don't have to scam people to make a fortune out of real estate. When people are talking about scams, I tell people that one thing I hold in my head and at the back of my mind is that I am going to even lose more when I scam. Yes. If you do real estate legitimately, you make your profits with peace of mind. Although the peace of mind is not guaranteed because the real estate sector of Nigeria, I don't understand, especially Lagos right now, it doesn't come with full package of peace of mind.
We are going to touch there. We are going to touch
it doesn't come with full package of peace of mind. It comes like a sweet and sour thing. And that's the reality of life. When you give birth to a child, it comes with the child and the one you throw away.
True.
So there's nobody that will say in their life they've not faced any challenge. If you've not faced, you're still going to face it at some point. Challenges are bound to happen. But as the challenges arise, we need to know how to tackle, manage, and minimize to the bare minimum. That is where our government has a lot to do for us. Because if I call a fellow developer to order, I'm looking for wahala. But if the government calls all of us to order together, the government is still the person or the body
with the
or
authority,
the entity with the highest
and
authority,
the final say
everywhere in the world. So the one you talked about, yes, we have some people that jump on this business with the aim to do scam. I don't know what came over them. I don't know what they have at the back of their mind. But speaking for myself, I don't see any reason why I need to scam anyone in a very lucrative industry that opens doors to. But one thing real estate does, it even gives opportunity to several other things. So the developer you're talking about, if we have facts and figures, we have that. You talked about Lacera the other time. Lacera is there to receive reports and handle them. So if they have facts and figures, yes, it can be communicated to Lacera, and Lacera will do the needful. But a lot of developers are not scammers. Everybody cannot be a scammer now. On a serious note, can everybody come to this industry to scam? It's impossible.
No, I say the same thing because, when clients talk to me, I say about being scared. I tell them, look, in the medical profession, we have quack doctors, right? But we can't generalize and say because we have quack doctors, everybody is a quack.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing in real estate. But of course, that's why we have a show like KK Show to try and augment the positives and also bring about a call to action to the negatives, the negativity in the sector. You spoke about challenges. Can you share with us what were your major challenges?
Okay, it's been a lot. Now, you talked about Bejulei, and I chipped in something that a lot of us didn't know, that Bejulei will even drag this long, And whatever is happening in Bejulei is due to the fact that a lot of us came into the business. At the initial stage, we were very few, but, due to the unemployment in Nigeria, a lot of people jumped on the business and it was saturated. It's still saturated. So whatever title delays we've been having in Bejulei is due to the fact that too many people are applying for what few people should apply for. A lot of companies had to fold up because they didn't have backups, they didn't have enough resources to sustain themselves. And some of us are still standing. It's a lot of challenges. But like I said, life is full of the positive and the negative. It's positive and negative that brings light now. Before light will guide me. I'm not good in lightning. But before light will come, if it's positive, we have negative wire.
And
we have positive wire. We'll join it together before the light will come up.
Exactly.
You know. But as a company, you should be able to know that, okay, if things go wrong in this side, I have this to cover up. I have this backup. I have other plans, That is to tell you that that is one thing that companies should be prepared for. So one of the challenges I can talk about, okay, a project, Peridot Heights. It was a CFO land. In fact, it's our name that the CFO has Gracias Global owns our property on it. It was a good location.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, even you and other realtors, a lot of people bought into it as off plan.
Yeah.
It was a mouth-watering project. So
absolutely.
We shouldn't have any delay on that project. But unfortunately for us, when we started construction, we ran our test, integrity test, to check if, because it's heights, we had to check if it's okay to keep going and all that. And we realized that they had a lot of technicalities. And at the end of the day, this issue was that a Chinese company was selling sand. That thing is very heartbreaking. The Chinese company was selling sand and they were dredging from there. Actually, they were dredging not on the land, somewhere around the land, but they passed their pipe and were dredging from the inside. Because it's a waterfront property, so they had the opportunity to pass their pipe.
Wow.
So they destroyed they scooped sand from underneath, and we didn't know we were going.
And you were building?
We were building. So
and someone was scooping?
They were scooping the pipes.
Wow.
Passed their pipe, and they were selling. When you are selling sand, it's easy to finish the sand that's there because trailers are coming in. It's not as if they were not reclaiming another portion around. They were selling out the sand. This country can frustrate you. I don't understand. So I don't even know who gave them that approval. But thank God we did our checks. If we did not do our technical checks, we would have continued the building. And by now we would have had a story of collapse. Because the building is like you building and there's no enough soil.
I can't even imagine.
To hold it. So we had to stop that project. It was very heartbreaking for me. I had to refund clients. For a project that we had started. Nobody's going to refund
and you had paid.
We've paid
your contractors.
We've paid contractors. In fact, that project is one thing that breaks my heart. But we are still going to go back to sites. Now we had to reclaim the land. We now had to resanfill. So it's like double wahala for us. So we are almost done reclaiming. So that's one project that's really, imagine that I was a developer that started with that and I probably got a loan to do that. That's enough to ruin anybody. But those were billions of naira that we just had to, But for safety reasons, and, it's better to be safe than to be sorry. One thing I told the clients when we were refunding them, because a lot of them weren't happy, I said it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Let's not be in a hurry to deliver a project to you that you will sleep. You won't even sleep before it comes down. That project will come down while the construction is going on. Nobody will move in.
And then the story will go viral.
And the story will not go viral. And there's no how a building will come down, a construction site will come down, people will not die.
That's true.
I want to always say to my God, directly or indirectly, I don't want to have anybody's blood on my neck. So it was a painful thing, very heartbreaking. It was one of the toughest challenges we have. The second tough one is even small. This coastal road is the toughest. The coastal road thing broke my heart, honestly, because we had quite a couple of titled lands that were affected. But the good thing, not too good, but the partial good thing was that most of them we've not even sold. Although we are told that we'll get compensation, but you know how it is in this part of the world. And the story of the coastal road is a very annoying one, because it's like you leaving the offenders to come and punish the non-offenders. We had a lot of people build on the original
So a
gazetted
lot of
alignment.
the houses around that VI,
Houses. In
Ikati, and
fact,
the
if
likes.
they want to follow the
actual.
a lot of houses will go. So they had to tilt to where they had less houses.
Yeah.
And I understand that that's a good consideration, even considering the fact that the inflation now is not even being sambred to even put a structure down anymore. So the government thought of the fact that if they pull down those houses, it's going to be a lot of challenge for the people there, even though they did the wrong thing. So the Mr. President gave an instruction that avoid as much infrastructures that you can avoid. But it's heartbreaking for people like us that have titled properties, that you have a CFO in your name, you have a governor's consent, you probably, some we bought from the native owners with their CFO, those are the safest land that you should buy, but it is what it is. But it's one of its kind. I'm sure something like that will not happen in the next 100 years, at least till we go. Maybe our children, maybe another one, they will face another challenge like that. But I know this is one of, it's a blow. It's a blow, but we are managing through.
What were the lessons that you...
There's no lesson. That one does not even come with any lesson. Because what's the lesson to learn in doing the right thing? And they are coming to disturb you where you did the right. There's no lesson in that one. There's no lesson.
Sure.
The paradox now, if you ask for lesson, I'll say the lesson I learned is that do your checks. If we hadn't done our checks, we would be having a story of Gracias' house came down and probably killed people. So God be the glory. All the construction I've done, all the houses I've built for people, we've never had any issue of any building collapse. That is because we always check. Do you understand? We always do our checks right from time. I'm always very particular about call the right sector, let them check us. Can we continue? It's called integrity test. A lot of people don't do it. They just build, So I can say the lesson I learned from that challenge is that it was good that we did our checks. At least lives, we didn't waste any life and we don't have that record yet. But this Coastal Road, there's no lesson in Coastal Road now. The only lesson I learned in Coastal Road is we should not be doing the right thing at times.
Please do the right thing.
Because I remember one project that I was supposed to do a JV on. And when I went to check to do the building approval and all that, they said it was on Coastal Road. I didn't do that project, and I'd already paid, I can't remember, I paid an amount to the people. They didn't refund me because at times for JVs, you pay premiums. So I paid premium. They didn't refund me my premium. But I didn't do that project because I was told that it is sitting on the Coastal Road. Do you know that project is there now? They left that project. It's not part of the thing that they demolished. They left. If I had known, I would have done the wrong thing then and probably do that project. But I didn't do the wrong thing. So at times, our government, I don't know, or is the system or is the country, at times you do the right thing and I don't know, they still come for you. It's so confusing at this point. I really don't know what to say. But let's keep doing the right thing. Let's continue to do the right thing. Let's not do the wrong thing. And let's be hopeful that the system gets a proper structure that encourages everybody to do the right thing.
I think they are working towards it.
Yes, the truth. That's why I cannot even fight. I can't even shout. Somebody was like, look at Madam Gracias. This property has gone down. This property has gone. And you're not even saying anything. I say, if I shout, what do I want to shout? They've explained to me. When the whole Coastal Road last started, I called the people I can call. We had a meeting and they gave me the reason why it was done. Is it possible for me to tell them to go and bring down thousands of houses for Coastal Road? And that Coastal Road is a plus to the economy, that we like it or not.
Yeah. So,
and there's something called overriding public interests. Anything that is in the interest of the public overrides any personal interest, So I can't even fight, I can't shout because I know that our government, the current government, is doing a lot to help the build sector. Mr. Governor in Lagos State is doing a whole lot. Maybe because he was part of the build sector in the ministries before he became a governor. He has so much passion for this industry and they are doing a lot. But, it's not the day that you give birth to a child that the child will walk. There's a lot they are doing. But the system itself has gone deep into some things that it's like their best is not showing yet. But yes, They are doing a lot, and hopefully it gets better.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, Mr. President spoke about the coastal road, and a lot of people have been calling confidence. This coastal road that is meant to be a blessing, what's it looking like right now? Because now we can't invest. People were looking towards, and they were looking forward to investing, close to the coastal road. But now the president is saying no approvals will be given, no allocations will be given close to the coastal road. What do you say to that?
Well, I still have that clip, and I don't think Mr. President said no allocations will be given.
Okay.
What Mr. President said was simple. He said, we will enforce the setbacks.
Okay.
You know how we are in this part of the world. If he did not, what he meant was respect the published and gazetted setbacks. You know how it can be at times. Somebody can just decide to go and erect a structure kissing the coastal road. Do you understand? He said they were going to enforce the setbacks that will be published. That was a statement, that they will publish this setback, they will enforce the setback. I didn't hear him say they would not give allocations, they won't give, no. I think when it comes to informations, we at times when you say some things, it gets to people, and some people misinterpret,
yes,
or some people misunderstand. Mr. President is somebody that encourages real estate investment. He's someone that knows the value of real estate. He knows the advantage of real estate. So Coastal Road is still a blessing, and it will still be a blessing to investors around if they do the right thing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now the road has cut across some titled properties, not all, and they're saying they want to enforce the setbacks. It's just for us to wait, ensure we get the right information. Whatever you're doing, do your approval. Mr. President said something. He said there would not be compensations for people that do not get approvals. That was a statement, I remember.
Okay.
That is saying that some people will jump on the coastal road now because they've done about 30 kilometers and start building close to it or something without getting approvals. That statement is meant to keep us on our feet. Do you understand? Have us do the right thing. If you put in for your approval, if it is taking long, wait. Don't be in a hurry. If they tell you put in for your approval today and they tell you wait for a couple of weeks, we are waiting for clearance from the federal government, wait and get your approval before doing anything in the corridor of the coastal road. But coastal road is still a blessing. It's going to remain a blessing. For someone like me that lost a lot of properties, I know the few ones that are remaining there will worth the wait at the end of the day. Hopefully, we get our compensations as soon as possible. We settle the clients we need to settle. We redesign. Like a client was talking to me about one of the properties that were affected. I told her we have to wait to do another layout approval because we had a layout approval. It had a government allocated CFO. We had a layout approval. We had everything in place. The coastal road took a little bit part of it. And I was telling her we have to redesign another, another layout and let you know where you'll be positioned. The client was telling me that she has a survey that we had issued to her before, which she had a red copy on and has started a governor's consent on. And I told her that survey might not be effective anymore because we have to now construct a survey or a layout according to what we have on ground. Those are the kind of things Mr. President was talking about. Because if she takes her survey now that we've given her before the coastal road came, and she gets to the site and our surveyor tells her this is your portion. Her portion is very close to the coastal road. And she decides to erect a building because she has a CFO. She has a survey that is a red copy lodged survey already. They won't give her building approval to do that. Do you understand? So those are the instances Mr. President is trying to address that. Get your approval. The setback he meant, that statement was very necessary because he even came after that statement. I sent her that clip and she called me and said now she understands that she will wait for us to get the new layout approval. So I think a lot of people just misunderstood
the whole conversation.
Mr. President cannot possibly say nobody should go close to anything around Coastal Road. Our president is not like that. He knows the value of investment. He just wants us to do the right thing so we can all have peace of mind.
Okay. I think I'll just buttress that. If you've bought properties that, the coastal road has slightly encroached. I know there are lots of properties along that Bejulei corridor, basically because, there was an existing coastal road, what we're using to sell then, and now it has passed through some estates. What I would advise you, like she has said, wait.
Please.
Wait, let everything settle.
Yes.
Let the approvals be gotten before you erect anything.
Anything. Even if you have an existing survey that is a red copy lodged survey and you feel you have your evidence of lodgement, so you have the right survey. Yes, you had the right survey. But that survey might not sit where it should be sitting now. It might give you close proximity to the coastal road. And some people are thinking that because it is now close proximity to the coastal road is an advantage for them. If it is erected on the setback, they will pull it down without compensating you. Do you understand? Because one man was telling me, I pray my portion falls close to the coastal road. I told him, even if it falls close to the coastal road, ensure it is not within the setback. Do you understand? So that statement was meant to put us on check, give us a bit of, patience, hold back. Because everybody, that either we like it or not, that coastal road is sweeting a lot of us in the body. Even though he adds into some of our properties.
Of course, he brought up more value to your project.
He's going to bring value to whatever is there. And whatever has been eaten into, they already told us to be rest assured that we'll get compensations. That the reason why they diverted to where they had less houses is so they can give compensations on less things than bringing down
lots of
structures. So I don't think the coastal road should discourage anybody from investing into titled lands in Lagos. I don't think so. Because like I mentioned, positivity and negativity brings light. Life is full of challenges. That's just one out of how many?
How many, yeah.
That's one out of how many? You and I know how many people I built houses for, I delivered to and all of that, but we cannot bring them out because they are prominent people. You yourself know I know how many clients I've referred to you when I don't have property and you sell to them, they call me and tell me, Oasis sold this property to me. Thank you. Prime properties that you've been selling to them, all those properties are delivered.
Yeah.
So when we have stories that are not sounding well, they are very few, they are minimal. Unfortunately, they make it to the headline, they make it out there, but it doesn't mean real estate in Lagos is risky. When they just show one demolition, you start seeing comments from people that cannot even afford to buy a plot of land in the cheapest area in Lagos State. They'll now come and start dropping comments and say, hey, don't buy in Lagos. So, hey, I cannot buy in Lagos. They cannot afford it. Don't listen to them if you can afford it. Do you understand? They cannot afford it. If they can afford it, they will buy. So the fact that we are hearing little stories here, just do your checks. Buy from a reputable. One good thing that you do, that I noticed that you do, is not because I'm seeing you. You do your checks on your own before you even sell to the end users. And another thing that took you to that were the little challenges you faced.
Yeah.
It was able to teach you a lot of things.
That's true.
So somebody buying from you now will not be making mistakes anymore because you've learnt your lessons, you've seen the ups and downs. But at times when the client calls you and you tell them the truth, that client might leave you and go and buy from a realtor that tells them what they want to hear.
True.
And the client will now come back and tell you that Lagos is not good to invest. Do you understand? So Lagos still remains, if you can afford to invest in Lagos today, you are one of the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. Do you understand? You are fortunate to be able to afford to invest in Lagos. So don't let anybody tell you Lagos is this. Lagos is still making billionaires when it comes to investment.
That's correct. Very correct.
I can give you facts and figures, but these are not things I can be saying here. People are making good money when it comes to investing in Lagos. But like I would always say, or like I've been saying lately, Lagos is no longer for affordable people, affordable investments. Go to neighboring states. Because by the time you buy the affordable land and they tell you, come and pay this for your approval, come and pay this for your... Can you afford it? If you cannot afford it, go elsewhere where you can afford and invest what you can afford there and go to sleep. But Lagos is not cheap. And Lagos is not for everybody. It's for the 1% of the 1% that can afford to invest in Lagos.
I'm going to touch something. Where you spoke about clients would, leave the truth.
Yes.
I still told somebody that last week. I said, you're going elsewhere now. I'm not going to stop you. But make sure when the chips are down, you don't go on internet and say, all developers,
They are the ones
if
that
I
will
catch you,
They are the ones that will go and
I
badmouth
catch
the
you,
entire thing.
do that.
Honestly, you know the funniest thing is that if we had to ratio it, 80% of developers are still doing the right, or even 90%. Maybe it's just 10% that is having all these stories we are talking about. And why these stories are going out is that the 10% are trying to do affordable. I have few developers that I co-invest with, that I partner with when it comes to building and selling of prime properties. Me, I know they pass my boundary. I couldn't put my head on my own. I know I can't do it. I don't have the strength. I know my strength. I know my capacity. And there's one good thing about me, self-discipline. I know my limits. So I knew I cannot just jump and go and do high rise in Banana Island. I go fail. Do you understand? Even if I can afford it and I have the customer and clientele, I have the customer base, I go fail. Because number one, I'm a young girl. That thing is still a barrier. Forget that I'm doing strong head. It affects me a lot. People look at me and say, I beg. It's easy to just push me one corner. So I decided I looked at people that I respect in the industries, people that I'm close to, that are doing high rise, doing prime properties. I co-invest with them. After every investment, after every structure, we share the profits and we go in peace. We deliver, we go in peace. Our clients there, you can never see them comment in any blog and say Lagos is that. But you know, the affordable that we try to encourage, that, okay, it's not everybody that has 500 million to buy a unit of house. It's not everybody that has 200 million. Let's encourage affordable investment. So the affordable investment, because the system is not encouraging affordable investment. Do you understand? The title delay we are having in Ibeju, Ekpe, and all that is due to selling affordable land, encouraging people to buy affordable land. Lagos state system is no longer encouraging affordable land. Do you understand the difference? So any complaint or any delay you see people have or any stories, most times, it has to do with the affordable part. I'm not saying the prime one don't have their issues as well, but very few. You can't even if when the issues happen, you rarely see them in the news. Because the you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. The clients are not even ready. You can never see them, you know.
That's true.
But we cannot only do for the rich people. We can't only... Shelter should cut across.
Yeah.
So the government should help us. For people like us that started affordable housing, that had to stop because it is so stressful. We have to struggle, think of how to bring light into the community, bring water, and those things do not come cheap. And by the time you sell affordable house to people and you calculate infrastructure realistically, when you tell them the cost of the realistic infrastructure, they will abuse the hell out of you. Sorry to use that word. Because it's going to sound goobersome to them. But that is the reality of infrastructure. Do you understand that all? It is not... You know what I'm saying? A lot of projects that some people sold, and they were telling you people then that don't worry, you won't pay any extra money. Remember, I told you people you will pay extra money. That this cost cannot do drainage, cannot do interlocking, cannot... You know, I said it then. After a couple of months, they told you people to come and pay extra money. You remember those projects?
Yeah.
So realistically, because these things, even if I'm not an engineer, I've done quite a number of projects. So I can sit down. If you tell me you want to build a duplex today, maybe a 5-bedroom duplex, without even carrying my biro and paper, I can tell you, I can give you a rough estimate of how much we finish that construction, because I've done quite a number of them. So the system is no longer encouraging affordable. What do we do about that? Because we still have to encourage affordable.
So like you said, it's either you look out of Lagos, but even at that, right? Yeah, the government has to come into play. And I think affordable housing itself is not really a developer's job. I think this is more of the government. However, the government is trying to partner with developers. They could do better by reducing the cost. Now, looking at that Bejulei axis, those were the places that were meant to be the affordable lands, affordable homes. But what is the solution? What is the way forward for the Bejulei lands?
Bejulei will be like VI at the end of the day. It's not going to be anything.
So what about those that bought affordable at that point?
If they bought from reputable companies that have their interest at heart, and tell them at the point that, okay, this is... Because now, it's not as if the government is saying there is no title. But they're now saying there's government allocated title and it doesn't come cheap.
Okay.
Do you understand? So clients should be ready to face reality at that point. If they say this is the amount to pay for the title, and you know in your mind, by the time you calculate whatever you bought then, whatever you are paying on the title, you still have value for that property. Then face reality, pay it, and get on your property. Do you understand? But those were the last set of people that will get affordable, realistically.
So let me just sound it right now. So if you bought land along that corridor, it's now turning to
bought Bejulei
Ekpe without title.
Without title. Government is, because that's the only way government can even give value to that place. They can't allow it. One person will build bungalow here, one person will build face and slap you here. They can't allow.
I think Lagos is turning to the mega city, so we can't even have that anymore.
Lagos is turning to the mega city that it is. The mega city they were calling Lagos before was due to the population. Yes, realistically. But it was due to the population. But right now, the real estate sector is converting Lagos to the reality of mega city. So like I said, if you own a property in Lagos, you are lucky to be among the 1% of the 1%. If you are yet to and you want to,
you should.
The time is now, but buy rights.
You should.
Buy rights. Buy reality. Buy rights. Don't deceive yourself. Don't follow deception. Buy reality. If you cannot afford to buy the reality, please go elsewhere and buy reality.
So in addition to that, buying reality, because we get lots of people, reach out to us saying, confidence, please can you show us the right people to buy from? Or we see some comments, how do we invest? So KK Show is a subsidiary of Eden Oasis Realty. Eden Oasis Realty is the parent company. And what we do basically is we are the bridge between you and the right investment. We do our best possible to ensure that you are investing right. So the fact that you are watching this and you want to invest, all you have to do is just, call the numbers in the description. All the information will be there, and we will walk you through the entire process.
Let me buttress what you just said, not because I'm seeing you. Confidence, your team is doing well.
Thank you.
I know how many companies they've reported to me that, hey, we called Confidence to come and market for us. When she came with her lawyer, after investigation, she's no longer picking our calls. Do you understand? So to an extent, you are doing your best. So even if anything happened, it is not happening because you took your clients to the wrong place. It might happen due to a developer can be a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
Same way clients themselves, they can buy a land on their own from the native owners and still be a victim of circumstance.
That's true.
A lot of clients cannot do these things on their own because they understand the risk and they assign the risks to developers. It's not as if they don't know that it's not rosy. They know at the back of their mind. A lot of investors, it's not as if they love us that much and they want us to make money off them. They just know that on their own, if they enter this, they are going to enter wahala. So when it happens that a developer is a victim of circumstance, it is a different thing. It is way different than sitting down, opening your office and doing deliberate scam. Or some are not even deliberate scam. Some are there's something Yoruba called afawofa. Some has to do with a developer biting beyond what he knows he can chew.
Mm-hmm.
If you start a project and you are selling 50 units, for instance, and you have subscribers subscribe for about 500 units, and you want to now start going to source for land. It's not as if you even have the land to build that 500 units. You want to now start sourcing for land. That is you biting way beyond what you can chew. For business, if you have a 50-unit structure and people pay for 60, for instance, you have just extra 10. It is easy for you to still struggle and see how you can balance the 10. Maybe I'll get another land and so. But by the time you have a provision for 50 units and you are collecting money from subscribers up to the tune of 500 units, that is not being a victim of circumstance. That's you deliberately putting yourself into a mess.
That's true.
And that is one thing I think a lot of people get wrong in this industry. They don't know when to stop. They don't know when to say, okay, we all like money. I also like money, but I don't like wahala. Do you understand? But there's some money that comes with delivery. You are seeing money, you are seeing wahala, and you are using your hand to enter.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So that's one thing I want to plead with my fellow developers. They might not like this statement, but please let's us endeavor to only bite what we can chew.
True.
Let's know when to stop, even when the money is coming in. The money doesn't come with peace of mind. It comes with a lot of a headache. You know?
That's true.
It doesn't come with peace of mind. And they won't give you their money and forget.
Exactly.
And you know one thing about houses? As they are paying you, even if you write 18 months delivery period, they are counting their calendar more than you. At the 16th month, they'll send you a reminder. Do you understand? So it's not one money you think you can collect and go and sleep. Oh. Don't let anybody deceive you. The wahala is there waiting. So let's avoid, if you can do that.
Stress.
That's why I say encourage partnership. I went into a lot of partnership because I know my strengths. I know that if I try to do these things, I will fail. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I tried to do a couple and I failed. And I told myself the reality that if you want to continue putting your head, like they are deceiving you and calling you woman power, woman king, Amazon, guru. I used to tell myself the truth that you're not guru, you're not Amazon, you're not anything. If you continue to do strong head and think you can do this, you keep failing. I went into partnership. I'm making my money with less stress. I'm doing the little I can by myself. I get projects from people, build mini estates from them. With their money, that one is even the sweetest. With their money, I'm not selling. This is my budget. I build a house from, and it's been going well. I've been doing that. But then I had what it takes. You realtors are here. I had what it takes to sell thousands of units of houses. But I will stop. After selling small, I will start and say, it's okay. I'm not selling again. Not because I don't like money, but because I'm facing reality. Developers should begin to face reality and know what to handle. Don't take beyond what you can handle. With that, we'll have less problem. And that still takes us back to the government disciplining us. Because if we have discipline, and you know that if you don't deliver this due to this. Now, recently we had issues of the, inflation. Everybody understands that. A lot of developers have not even been able to balance.
Exactly.
Have not balanced. That inflation be like, I don't even know, the more you look, the less you see. Nobody saw it coming. That one is different. Do you understand? But not you using your hand to draw wahala, please. This is my own advice to developers like me. My humble opinion. It will help, honestly.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Let's touch something overpriced. Is Lagos overpriced? Because we have different ideologies. People come and say, oh no, from the developer's angle, it is not overpriced. The cost of things are high. From the receiving end, which are the customers, they say it is overpriced. Is it a bubble, the real estate sector? Is it a bubble that's going to burst soon?
I don't think Lagos is overpriced.
Really?
Because I am in the system. And one thing I think is causing this overpriced drama lately is due to the inflation recently. You know, when houses were sold for 150 million and the inflation happened and that same house became 300 million.
Let's not even go far. Your apartment you sold for 7 million. My client sold it was not 40, 45 or 50 million thereabouts.
I sold it to your client for 7 million and your client sold to somebody else recently for 50 million. That's a testimony that nobody will come out and say. Do you understand? That your client bought it in 2016 or 2017 or so.
2020.
You bought for 7.5 million, paid other fees, everything was about 10 million.
Yeah.
And he sold for 45 million. That's a testimony that your client should come and sit here and say. But they won't come. It's the ones that inflation probably met us there and we couldn't deliver on time. Or the one that soil did not balance, that we had to refund. Those are the ones that people are complaining about, you know. So it's quite unfortunate. So talking about overpriced, I don't think Lagos is overpriced. I just think that I feel that the inflation lately brought out a lot of alarm. Because even me as a developer, when inflation started, I stopped projects. Aside the people that I'm building for, that I know that even if it's $1 billion, they can afford it. But projects that had to do with all this I had to stop. Middle class, affordable, I had to stop because since then, you know I've not built any house for sale. I have not built any house for sale after the inflation. I've just been building for personal people because I don't know how to tell somebody, come and buy a house for XYZ million. To me, it's sounding outrageous. Not because it is overpriced, but inflation.
That's the reality of the market right now.
That is the reality of the market. It is the inflation. Now, talking about prime, everywhere in the world, we have prime properties, we have prime locations, we have rural locations. A lot of people cannot afford to live in London. They live in neighboring boroughs because they cannot afford to live in London. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But a gentleman talking about overpriced has his point as well, because he is saying if it is this price, these values should come alongside. He has a point. But that boils down to the area. I think what we are talking about now ought to have been addressed long ago. Those areas are sold for those amounts now. There's nothing we can do about them. If when they started selling those areas for those big millions, then if we had a regulation,
yes,
maybe from the government that states that, okay, because, abroad, you cannot just sleep. Abroad, the appreciation is small. Mm-hmm. I invest for a lot of people there. I tell them the truth before they go. It's small. The thing they crawl. They even walk. They run. They crawl. That is due to regulation. So if these areas were maybe when the big... It's one person that will start something now before he starts going.
And before you say Jack, the client. And the thing is when there is a demand. Because people are buying it.
The truth is the people that are buying are not even complaining.
That is the thing.
Some people want to even buy because it is overpriced, because they feel it gives them a particular class. It's like talking about designers.
I know.
There is nothing fantastic in a lot of things they do, but they sell to people that feel that I am in this class today. This is what I want. So in every part of the world, there is always something that will look overpriced. There's always an area that will be like it's overpriced. But some people, if it's looking like it's overpriced to you, you're not the targeted audience. It's not for you. Some people want to buy into it because you cannot afford it. Do you understand?
Okay.
Talking about Lagos being overpriced, we've gone past that stage. It cannot be reversed. If it was regulated at some point and they say, okay, don't peg it toward this amount, because locations abroad, there are certain amount that an area is sold for.
Yeah.
I don't know if the government has control over it, but it is not like you sleep and wake up and it goes up like that. But Lagos is not overpriced.
Food for thought to my people, my viewers, right? Because I've been seeing some double standards in this industry. I mean, I've sold houses to people and clients are coming and like, look, I want you to rent this house for me at this price. Clients that had spoken before buying a property, I think real estate should be regulated and blah, blah, blah. And they come and I'm telling them this is the price. For instance, this place rents for 6 million. And I'm hearing, no, let's make it 8 million. And I'm like,
okay.
Why?
That's
These
the
are double
now.
standards. So you watching this, if you are going to buy a property and you want to build, I think it starts from all of us here. It's not about being social media warriors. When you buy a property to build for people, be considerate too. I think it starts with, it's not just pointing fingers, because I've seen this happen over and over again, where my clients are like, please, I rented an apartment for 4 million at Aja. 2-bedroom flat. I'm talking 2-bedroom flat. No BQ, just 2-bedroom flat. 4 million naira. And I had another client come and he's like, okay, he wants to buy. I said, I could rent this for you for 4 million. This client's like, that is so cheap. And I'm like, this is Aja. 4 million naira.
It's reasonable for Aja.
It is very reasonable.
So that still has to do with the regulations.
So even all of us, those pointing fingers, if we find ourselves at the other side of the fence, we may even do worse.
Yes,
but so let's checkmate ourselves too.
We shouldn't be encouraged to do worse.
Yes.
Now the government, they are really trying. Funny enough, but I think they still need to synergize some things, because when the entire rent thing started, they called for a meeting. They said this. They even had a publication done that don't collect 2 years rent, don't this. After that, some people are still collecting 2 years rent. So talking about that, yes, it is still double standard because there's nobody checking all of us. Mm-hmm. So we all feel we can, both the buyer and the seller. But the buyers will not come out and say their own parts. This is what I are saying now. You won't make it. You will never see it in any comment section. You understand? Mm-hmm. It still boils down to the government are really trying, I must say. They are doing a lot, but the system itself, it's a bit of a wildfire that is not easy to contain. Let me put it that way. It's the entire thing, working on the entire thing, working on the developers, working on the investors. It's a wildfire already. It's not easy to contain it, and but we still have to curb it. Else, it's going to consume a lot of things. It's going to cause a lot of damages. So we still want to plead with our government people. We know what they are doing. They are doing a lot, but we still need them to still help us do more. Make things easy for us, easier than it is.
Yes.
It's not as tough as it used to be. It gets better by the day, but if they can synergize and reduce the cumbersome process and all that, that will still help.
A lot of people have complained about that.
Yes, that will help. That will help people. Then also put us on check, put down a regulation and enforce it. And they should put that, after putting down a regulation, they should help us put beside it a rigid enforcement that will help us comply.
Yeah.
You know, the easiest way to treat humans is giving them something that will make them do the right thing, even when nobody's watching. It happens abroad. You see our people here, they drive, they see red lights, they bump, they jump, they go. Abroad, nobody's even going to tell you. I find you pay the fine twice. At times, it has to do with a point. They will remove a point from your driver's license, you know. So all those things help people. Like this speed check that we have on the 3rd Mainland Bridge now. You know, somebody had to write it on the social media that when you are driving on 3rd Mainland Bridge, please be careful. There's now speed camera. They gave me XYZ amount to pay. You know, so things like that will help us. So for the real estate sector, yes, it is necessary. Redan is trying, but a developer cannot checkmate a developer for better results. Do you understand? But the government can checkmate developers for better results.
Sure.
Do you understand?
Okay. So if you could redo one thing in your real estate journey, what would that be?
I won't even start. As a developer, I would continue to be an investor. If I had,
Are you serious?
If I had to go back,
Why?
I would do developing in Nigeria. Honestly.
Why?
That's to tell you that I've seen a lot of shages as a developer. Investors are enjoying. Like now, I told you about the co-investing I do with people. If you know the peace of mind that comes with those my co-investing, I don't get that peace of mind on the development I put on my chest to do.
And because I think people lay a lot of burden on you.
Yes.
All the risk is on you.
The risk, the burden, the sleepless nights, you know. So if I have to redo something, I will not.
But you've had a good time being a developer. I mean, you've enjoyed the benefits too.
It's a sweet and sour journey. Honestly, a lot of times I have to bring out money from the other things I do to solve deficits in Gracias. I have to, maybe when I do contracts and make money, I have to bring it and pay refunds in Gracias. We buy properties from native owners. We've paid in hundreds of millions. We have realtors do these transactions for us. We've paid from their professional fees, you know, but we still have to refund the clients when there's an issue.
What? I mean, I don't know refund clauses. What causes these refunds?
We have refund clauses, but for a client that comes, maybe somebody that invested in Peridot now, and the structure, there's a delay and all that. That's why I'm saying they know what they are doing by buying from developers. You know, a lot of developers don't do refunds. Refunds is not, it's not a convenient thing to do. But we do at Gracias because we just feel that let's burden some things. I hope it doesn't get to a stage that we get tired. It's tiring, but we do because we just feel, okay, let's just pay this client. And it has to do with my personality. You know, I don't like to, when somebody tells some kind of story, I feel bad, you know, I don't like to. So when people feel that I make so much money from development, the truth is, because I'm a German person, I do a lot of things. I can still make my money without being a developer. That's the truth. I can still make my money as an investor. Investors make money now.
Yeah.
Investors make more money than developers. You know one thing people don't understand as developers? Inflow is different from profit. Inflow, I always tell people that inflow that you see that is coming, it's not your money now. True. So the inflow, the figures are not the profits. So when you are now, maybe because we use auditors, So by the time we are auditing ourselves, we are seeing that deficit has already eaten into the profit. There's no profit anymore due to deficit. Maybe if we were not bothered about refunds, or maybe if we don't care about how clients feel, we don't care, maybe we will be making profit. But by the time we are using this one to cover this one, it's a lot of mess. It's a lot of headache.
I think that's so true, because I'm just trying to play this scenario right now. The land, the peridot. I mean, the land, good land. If a client had bought not from you now directly from the family or whoever they had bought from, right? Your money is gone.
Your money is gone. They know what they are doing now.
There's no refund for you because families, they don't refund. Your money is gone.
No.
So I think there is still hope buying through a developer.
That's what I said. I mentioned it, that it's not as if they love us like that. They know they are tying their responsibilities to us. They are tying the risk to us. So if I have my way, if you tell me to retrace my step, I'll be an investor, invest and have developers face the hit. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Developing is not for the weak in this part of the world. We are not ready to go into. Why are you not developing? You have all it takes to develop now. Why are you not developing? If you start developing like this, all this your freshness will come down. It's because me, I'm just the type that I don't joke with my freshness, no matter my problem. My steez,
you can't reduce your steez.
Even when I'm hungry, I don't reduce my steez. So my steez and my composure. That's my own therapy. It's not easy. It's not easy. But for investors, they are lucky when they see a trusted developer they can tie their burden onto. But one thing we should take home from this is that if you don't invest, some other people will. So it's in your own best interest to invest, but invest rightly.
Yeah. I think Lagos is still one of the best places to invest if you have the money.
It is the best in Nigeria now.
It is the best in Nigeria.
Everybody wants Lagos, a slice of Lagos. Even with all the stories we are saying as a broker, even before we came into this podcast, your phone was ringing back to back. They were asking, I want to buy this, I want to buy this. People will still buy.
That's true.
Shelter is one thing that till thy kingdom come, people need shelter. Mm-hmm. People need property investments. Every part of the world, people know the value of property investments. So the fact that some parts of it is not rosy does not mean the entire story is no. It's just a little fraction of it that has all these stories that we're always talking about. Maybe because we are even addressing those stories. Maybe henceforth we should stop addressing the errors and start saying the good parts of it. So as developers, we should always maybe say the good parts as well to encourage people, because the media has a very wrong
narrative.
The media is passing out a wrong narrative. Honestly, it is.
What does the next chapter look like for Gracias? Any big shifts in how you approach land or development?
Well, one step at a time. Let's see how it goes. We want to embark on some projects on some landed properties that we've sold as site and service, just to encourage people to come on board. Mm-hmm. And there are also some other projects we want to start.
Yeah.
But I don't like to say things ahead of when it starts. I always want to... Action speaks louder.
Louder, that's true.
But yes, we are still in the game and we are not relenting. We are not discouraged because it's not as bad as it seems. Yes, and for our clients, we got them. We have their back. We are the one facing the sleepless nights for them. They should go and sleep. They have us here and we'll continue to do our best.
I think that's the core of the conversation. For every client, go and sleep.
Go and sleep. But pray, as you are sleeping, pray for us. Put us in your prayer. So it's not easy.
So it's important. I think it's not just, investing your money. It's necessary. For me, I pray for, of course, the business. I pray for my clients. I pray for the investors, because I think in all my journey, I've lost about 3 clients, and that hit me so hard. So I had to intensify my prayers, for my clients.
You lost them as they died?
Yeah, they passed on.
Oh, they passed on.
Yes, 2 of them passed on last year. One in October, another earlier in the year, and it was a hit for me, a very big hit, because one of them, I spoke to him on Thursday, and by Friday I heard he was dead.
That's life. People
like
pass on
how
every day?
How so?
People pass on every blessed day.
It's something that I take so seriously, praying for my clients, praying for the companies we are working with. So please, in your quiet time,
please pray for
pray
for Nigeria.
Pray for us and pray for Nigeria. Nigeria is our home.
That thing I want to tell our clients, our dear clients, is at times investment differs, cases differs. Just like you having children. If you have 3 children, I have twins. I have a set of twins. They act differently.
Yeah,
those are 2 children that I conceived on the same day and gave birth to on the same day. So our clients should stop. Let me not say stop. Our clients should reduce the way they try to compare situations. At times, it might take a very long time for a property to give you a particular return. And whatever return, one thing will just happen in that area. It's one thing that always happens.
Yeah.
Let me give you this instance. One property that I got I can't even remember how much I got that property. The property was there. I forgot about the property totally. Because right from time, any money I see, I always buy all these small properties. Just one road came. It's a road that came. Somebody now called me. The Bale of the area now called me. I never even come since. This is your property. Somebody wants to buy it. I say, who? You say, it just gave me one company name. As I hear company, I just call one kind of big money. My sister, that's over 1,000% profit for me. And they bought it.
Wow.
Because they needed it. And that was the property I bought maybe 15 years ago that I even forgot totally. So when the company now called me for a meeting, I now got to the area and I saw that the area was even I totally, in my mind, I was thinking that area maybe another 30 years ago. When I bought it, it was proper bush as in proper. Do you understand? But one road just came and so a buyer looked for me. Do you understand? So imagine that, and I'm giving you this instance because in my mind, when I was talking to somebody about that property, I said that property is not even appreciating. One other property that I bought, somebody was appreciating small. I was just comparing that if I had known, instead of me buying 1 acre here and 1 acre, I would have just bought this 2 acre in this place that is appreciating. You understand?
Yeah.
So where I thought was appreciating, that I sold that in my mind that this one is appreciating, I sold it well. What I sold that other one for was way beyond what I sold that for at the end of the day. So at times, you might feel the property is not, the area is not this, is not that.
Yeah.
You're now comparing it to, just like you having kids and comparing them. Yoruba will say, Taba fomo womo ama lukokpa. If you compare your children, you will end up beating one mercilessly. And by the time you say, can't you see your sister? Can't you see your brother? So if you're an investor, be positive. At times, a return on an investment might not be immediate. It doesn't make the property a waste. Something will come up and that property will become a big deal. You know all this prime areas we are talking about. If their fathers were alive, all these prime areas they're talking about, if their fathers or their grandfathers were alive to tell you the stories of how monkeys were jumping, how they were begging people to come and open this gutter for us free. Come and get XYZ. Look at Abuja. Years ago, Abuja, they were giving it out free now. They'll just give you something to go and pay 10,000 or something. They were calling it, I can't remember. They were looking for people to live in Abuja then. Look at Abuja today. It didn't take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It took a while. So when investing at times, except you have so much money to put on investment in a very prime area, then you can say, yes, I'm expecting my return like ASAP. But if you're investing in a rural area, it takes time. It takes time. So
thank you.
Please, our investors, you people should be exercising little patience. We know it's not easy. If you want quick investment, there are so many things you can invest on. But property is like an investment and a legacy and and a landmark and something. Borrow me a name. Something you can pass on.
Yes.
Something
generational
wealth. That's it. So it's not what you want to buy now and think I want to sell tomorrow and get XYZ amount.
Thank you so much. I think the take home from this podcast is number 1, invest in the right place. And over time, there are different states in Nigeria. While it's important for you to invest in your state or any other state, investing in where is happening, where are people going to? As an investor, those are the kind of questions you should ask. Where are people going to? What's the demand?
Yes, if you cannot afford to buy where people are now.
Now.
Go and buy where people are going.
Exactly.
Because the truth is, a lot of clients, when they have a very little money to invest and you tell them the reality of what their investment can cover, they begin to say, it's too far now, or it's too bushy now. The question is bushy now? You can afford it now. When it becomes prime, can you afford it? A lot of them cannot even afford it when it becomes prime.
That's so
So the best time, then you, our realtors, maybe you in particular, if people are not encouraging them to buy outside Lagos enough. It's like
start singing like song.
Yes, encourage them. They will pray for you in the near future. Support them to invest in neighboring states. There are lots of places they can invest in neighboring states and have peace of mind.
Exactly.
Please.
So you've heard it. I mean, invest in where people are going to, and there are lots of places people are going to right now. Secondly, invest through the right people, the right channel. And that is why Eden Oasis Realty Key to Keys podcast is here for you. You know, we want to ensure that we are mitigating all those stories, the risk involved in investing. We conduct all the due diligence and everything.
I can say you, Eden Oasis, you are top notch.
Thank you
are doing well. I'm super proud of you. I get feedbacks from a lot of developers. And they be like, please help us beg her to come and sell. I say, I don't need to beg her. If it's right, she will sell. If it's not right, she will go. You can't artist. You've come through a lot. You've gone through a lot. You've come a long way. You can't afford to stain your brand with a deliberate error, not a victim of circumstances kind of error. You know, there are different things. So yes, I can say for a fact that Eden Oasis is a platform that you can trust.
You've heard it all.
You can
and
trust.
Finally, Lagos, if you want to invest in Lagos, you're still investing in a great place. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you very much, Dr. Over.
Thank you.
Till I see you again on our next episode. This is Key to Keys.